Sure, you've heard of the running of the bulls, but what about the running of the reindeer? Living the big wildlife is exactly what happens here. Along with hosting the most famous dog sled race in the US, they also host the outhouse races the weekend before. Although the city itself is rather beige, it's surrounded by mountainous national parks and filled with Alaskan wildlife. So strap on your snowshoes and pack your blackout curtains, because we're headed to Anchorage, Alaska. Jacob here. Welcome to Destinations Explained, a fun series I do that dives into destinations from around the world. If you haven't already, like this video, watch till the end, and down below comment any places I missed. Before British explorer Captain James Cook first landed in what is now Anchorage in 1778, archaeological evidence suggests that habitation began 5,000 years ago by a tribe of Alutiiq people, who were displaced by the arrival of the Dena'ina Athabascans. In the 19th century, Russia's presence was well established in the area, bringing smallpox with them, which cut the local native population in half. Damn Russians. In 1867, US Secretary of State William Seward purchased Alaska from Imperial Russia for about 2 cents an acre. Soon after, gold was discovered in the area, leading to a new influx of prospectors, and small towns began to spring up. The city grew and became a railroad construction port, and Anchorage formed at a time when prohibition was gaining traction, and was a means to try and stop the alcohol trade. The city experienced massive growth over the next several decades, as air transportation and the military became increasingly important. In 1964, an earthquake rocked the city at a magnitude of 9.2, killing 115 people. The remainder of the 1960s was dedicated to recovery and rebuilding of the city. But in 1968, Alaska struck liquid gold, which led to an oil boom and led to further growth in Anchorage. Today, over 290,000 people call Anchorage home, with the metro population at almost 400,000. The city is Alaska's largest with 41% of the state's population and is the 4th largest in the US by area. The summers are cool and mostly cloudy, with a high average of 67 degrees Fahrenheit to a low average of 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, the winters are extensive, freezing, and snowy, with a high average of 24 degrees Fahrenheit to a low of 13 degrees Fahrenheit. Something you won't experience in any other state is Alaska's extreme daylight hours, averaging about 19 hours of sunlight a day during the summer and 6 hours during the winter. I suggest you plan your trip during summer, as you can take advantage of the long days. But there's actually a benefit of visiting during the winter, and that would be, of course, the northern lights. And on a clear, dark night without the midnight sun to compete with, you have a better chance to see the Earth's light show. Just make sure you're away from the city's lights and look up some places with the best views. With that, let's head to the first tourist destination on our list in the heart of downtown Anchorage. Committed to recognizing and honoring the land, culture, and language of the Dena'ina people, this museum helps connect locals and tourists alike to the Alaskan Native people. The Anchorage Museum. The museum displays material from its permanent collection, for instance, Alaska history and art galleries, along with regular visiting exhibitions. Each year, it presents 16 to 20 changing exhibitions completed by education programs and activities. The museum's library archives are in frequent demand by publishers, scholars, and other researchers for its information and images. Between May and September, the museum is open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hours and days vary between October and April, because that's the time locals like to stay inside, in fear that their own saliva will freeze and choke them. But you should still totally visit. Just don't worry about the sub-zero temperatures, the earthquakes, the potential volcanic eruptions, landslides, tsunamis, bears. Yeah, it's fine. It's a good time. Started in 1963 by a retired Air Force colonel and World War II vet, our next tourist attraction started as a flying service to transport fishermen and hunters to remote parts of Alaska, but now it has grown to a sightseeing tourist agency, Russ's Flying Services, with over 10 different flight-seeing activities like bear viewing, wildlife and glacier tours, and guided fly fishing. This is a convenient way to see the wildlife and nature that Alaska has to offer. Ticket prices vary to each activity and can be expensive, so make sure to check out their website and make reservations in advance. Next, we head to the south border of Anchorage. This scenic turnout and whale watching spot over the waters of the Turnagain Arm, adjacent to the Seward Highway, is named for the white whales that are often spotted, Beluga Point. Be aware that the belugas are often seen from mid-July through August when salmon are running into Cook Inlet, where their numbers have hovered between 300 to 375 whales since 2000. Even if you're visiting outside of beluga season, or you just get unlucky, this is still a gorgeous scenic view of the mountains, and is worth visiting regardless. About 30 minutes further down the Seward Highway from Beluga Point is our next attraction. This resort town is located within the southern extent of the municipality of Anchorage, Girdwood. Girdwood is home to the Alyeska ski resort that offers typical activities, namely skiing and snowboarding, and more unique activities including snowshoeing and fat tire biking. Those are some big tires. Rental service shops? There's a better name for you. You can have it. You're welcome. Not interested in physical activities? Take in the views of the famous Alyeska aerial tram, an all-year cable car scenic ride from the resort to the upper tram terminal at 2,300 feet in elevation. Another outdoor activity in Girdwood to visit is the Virgin Creek Waterfalls. A quick half-mile hike to and from these falls located at a rainforest makes this an easy stop. Looking to grab a bite or get a drink? You might as well if you're driving all the way down here. My personal favorite joints include Girdwood Brewing Company, Jack Sprat, or Double Muskie Inn. Definitely save a whole day for this trip. Or even better, book a room for the night so you don't have to drive all the way back to Anchorage after a busy day. You deserve it. Our last tourist stop is located less than 50 miles southeast of downtown Anchorage. Located on 200 acres, this refuge for sick, wounded, and orphaned animals offers visitors a chance to see wildlife up close. Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. The animals are provided spacious habitats that reflect their natural homes. You can see bears cooling off in a stream, or bison roaming on pastures. Hell, you can even feed some moose. Tour the scenic 1.5-mile loop by foot, bike, car, or even on skis in the winter. At the time of this video, the tickets are only $18 a person, with different prices for kids, military, and seniors. Now, let's head to the nature and recreational section of the video, and you know this is gonna be good. You could start your outdoorsy day by grabbing a Deadliest Catch Benedict from the soon-to-be-mentioned Snow City Cafe, or you can make a smarter choice with today's sponsor, Magic Spoon, a healthy cereal that tastes too good to be true. If you're like me, you check a second bag just to bring the world's best sugar-free cereal. I start my day off right with the bowl. The frosted flavor is my favorite, or I just bring it with me to go on my adventure. No, Jacob, not like that. That's better. Click the link below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code VENTURE at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/venture. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So click the link below and use the code VENTURE for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/venture to save $5 today. Now, back to the video. Something that Anchorage and its surroundings aren't lacking is in nature. So let's start close to the city and suggest something tame before we get into it, with Margaret Eagan Sullivan Park. This quaint park has walking trails, wildflowers, water, and many birds to observe. Go up to the overlook and snag a view of the shore along the coastal trail and take in the scenery. Or if you're here in the winter, the lake transforms into an ice skating paradise. So bring your blades or look up a spot to rent skates if you're visiting. Because, you know, in Anchorage, you basically get disowned for not owning your own pair. Our second nature spot is located on the west coast. This 1,500-acre park offers soccer fields, an 18-hole disc golf course, and a huge array of wildlife. Kincaid Park. The park is mostly known for its 35-plus miles of trails. The Kincaid Trails Loop is 4.3 miles and reaches an elevation gain of almost 400 feet. And during the winter, this trail is used to ski and mountain bike. The park connects to the Tony Knolls Coastal Trail, which spans 10 miles east along the shore all the way to downtown with many access points. This trail is popular for birding, mountain biking, and road biking. The trail has a lot to offer, including one of Anchorage's hidden gems, Kincaid Sand Dunes Park, which is right next to the motocross track. Make a quick visit to visit one of the park's attractions, or pack a lunch or get some food to go and have a day here. Taking up the majority of the city of Anchorage, this massive park with ocean shorelines, mountains, towering glaciers, and abundant lakes offers camping, a ski area, and a nature center. Chugach State Park. The park contains almost 500,000 acres of land and is one of the 4 largest state parks in the United States. Here's 3 hiking trails that we recommend you check out within the park. First, there's the challenging Flat Top Mountain Trail, a 3.3-mile loop with 1,430 feet in elevation gain with incredible views all the way up. Or maybe you want something more easy, like the Mount Baldy Loop, a 2.7-mile loop with a daring 1,100 feet in elevation gain. From the top, you get a marvelous view of the Eagle River Valley and the surrounding mountains. The last trail, a Eklutna Lakeside Trail, is a 12.7-mile point-to-point trail. This trail is popular for camping and horseback riding, or as the name of the trail indicates, you can just take a casual walk alongside the trail to view the lake just a mile in. If you hike all the way, you'll make it to some cool bridges and Serenity Falls. Eklutna Lake is fed by the Eklutna Glacier and is a popular kayaking hotspot framed by snow-capped peaks. You should be able to rent kayaks right there on the lake from Lifetime Adventures. Just don't forget to purchase a day-use parking pass for the park. Lots of helpful links and other information can be found down below in the description. Located 60 miles southeast of downtown Anchorage and just west of Whittier sits a 10-story tall glacier, named because it was legendary for its use as Alaskan natives and gold rush pioneers' portage route between Prince William Sound and Turnagain Arm. We have Portage Glacier. In the summer, you can view the glacier via a guided day cruise ride across the lake or by hiking the Portage Pass Trail. This trail can be accessed from the Whittier side and is 4.2 miles out and back, with an elevation gain just over 1,400 feet. In the winter, the glacier becomes available for skiing, ice skating, and biking if the lake freezes. Be aware that this is wild ice with no official monitoring for safety or thickness, and the glacier face continues to calve during winter without warning. So if you're in decent shape and here for some serious nature, then make this hike a top priority. Our next stop is our furthest location on the list. At just around a 3-hour drive from downtown Anchorage, this picturesque park is located on the Kenai Peninsula and features a gigantic ice field of glaciers and various wildlife. Kenai Fjords National Park. The park contains one of the largest ice fields in the United States, Harding Ice Field. Exit Glacier is close to the visitor center and is the only portion of the Kenai Fjords National Park that's accessible by road. There's limited parking at the Exit Glacier, so keep that in mind when you plan your trip. There's 3 trails that will get you a view of the glacier. The first 2 are very moderate and the other is, well, quite challenging. The easier 2 trails are the Exit Glacier View Loop and the Exit Glacier Overlook Trail. The Overlook Trail is a 2.2-mile loop with just about 300 feet in elevation gain that leads to a panoramic vista of the Exit Glacier spilling down from the Harding Ice Field, while the View Loop is just a mile with basically no incline. The more challenging trek is the Harding Icefield Trail. This is an out-and-back trail totaling a little over 9 miles and is more than 3,500 feet in elevation gain. You'll travel through alluring meadows to an area well above treeline to get a view of the ice field. There's plenty to see in just the beginning of the hike, so it's definitely worth just doing a portion of this trail. And our last attraction in the nature section is a port city in southern Alaska set on an inlet on the Kenai Peninsula and serves as a gateway to the Kenai Fjords National Park, Seward, Alaska. Seward is among the most lucrative commercial fishing ports in the United States. The city hosts 2 major events during the summer. Every 4th of July, runners race to the summit of Mount Marathon, and America's second oldest foot race. The race may be just 3 miles, but it involves a grueling climb and descent of Mount Marathon, which includes navigating cliffs, steep inclines, and slippery, loose rocks. In August, the town hosts the Silver Salmon Derby. You can get out on the water and cast your line for several 100-pound halibut or salmon, so numerous that they bump into your boat. There's plenty of parlors to eat and shop, from top-of-the-line outdoor gear to homemade local crafts. Coffee shops that can be found in unique places, like a historic church, a converted train car, and a charming candy shop, as well as establishments providing fresh seafood, Alaska-grown produce, and wild game. The options are endless. This place is awesome, but I don't know how safe it is to build a city that's in between half glacier water and half avalanche-prone mountains, but I guess I'm thankful that it's there. It's restaurant time, and even though Anchorage is home to around 20 Subways and 15 McDonald's, you may be surprised to hear that there's actual restaurants in this frozen tundra city. So what kind of food is Anchorage known for? I'll definitely get into some diverse preferences, but to start, we have a bright, colorful downtown brunch spot, Snow City Cafe. The cafe's mission is to use the freshest, local ingredients available. With an extensive menu of breakfast and lunch items to choose from, you can't go wrong with the deadliest catch Benedict, salmon BLT, or their world-famous pecan sticky bun. The eatery is open 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Now, this is where we get into what Alaska has to offer. This lively 2-story brew pub has a mountain view, rooftop patio, freshly sourced Alaskan food, and award-winning beer. 49th State Brewing. With over 25 beers on tap, we recommend you try the most popular beer, the Solstice IPA, with aromatics of juicy grapefruit and ripe melon, or their most awarded, highly rated brew, Smoke, their rich and smoky lager. And if you're really feeling adventurous, go for the Thunder Shuck Alaska Oyster Stout, brewed with whole oysters from a local bay. As for food, this joint has some interesting options. Interested in trying Alaskan farm-raised yak? This is one of the only restaurants in the state that has it in their world-famous yak burger. You can also sample other Alaskan delicacies, such as elk and reindeer, and try suburb dishes like the Krabby Grilled Cheese Sandwich or halibut and chips. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the only place in the world where you can drink oysters, eat yak meat, and order elk in your lasagna. So yeah, definitely stop by here for something different. Next on our list, we have a fine dining eatery and lounge. This sleek and inventive spot masters in Pacific Rim cuisine and classic Asian specialties, ginger. The meals are handcrafted from fresh ingredients by a devoted crew of local restaurant veterans. Although they're closed on Mondays, they're open for dinner every other night of the week. Enjoy local microbrewed beer, sake, or a bite while sitting at the bar. Or reserve a table ahead and fancy their Alaskan baked sea scallops mac and cheese or their crunchy General Sounders fried chicken. And don't forget to check out their dessert menu as well, for a variety of delicious options. Founded by 2 college friends a few decades ago, this next place isn't necessarily a restaurant, but it serves alcohol and food in a second-run movie house that also hosts concerts. Beartooth Theatrepub. At the Beartooth Theatrepub, you can eat a full meal while watching your favorite films. You order your food at the concessions, and then it's delivered to your seat. They offer a wide variety of casual eats such as pizza, tacos, salads, and many other choices. There's also a bar inside the theater where you can purchase wine, margaritas, or any of their Broken Tooth brewing beers and other local brews. To check out where it all started, you can visit the founder's original establishment just 2 miles down the road at Moose's Tooth Pub and Pizza, which is still open today. This next eatery had me at Fried Halibut Po' Boy. This brightly colored house in Anchorage's Spenard neighborhood, with a casual vibe and only a couple of tables, has been pushing out the best burger in a city since 2002, Tommy's Burger Shop. This award-winning hole-in-the-wall burger spot's walls are covered in decor for you to take in while you wait for your Cajun-influenced burgers, po' boys, and Philly cheesesteaks. Try a standard cheeseburger or unique Philly, but just make sure you don't skip the onion rings. They're so good, I even used them to propose to my girlfriend. For coffee, Alaska's premier coffee roaster, which began as an espresso cart on 4th Avenue in the spring of 1986, now has 12 locations around the city. Kaladi Brothers Coffee. With the motto, made in Alaska, by Alaskans, for Alaskans, Kaladi Brothers sources high-grade beans, which they roast on a bed of fresh, hot air as opposed to the heated surface of a barrel roaster, resulting in a clean, uniform roast. Stop by any of the locations to pick up a latte or bag of beans. If you're looking for a place to relax and drink your coffee in-house, I'd recommend the Chugach Square location just north of the Botanical Gardens for the perfect view of the mountains. And for dessert, I really wanted to find a place that serves aqueduct, or Eskimo ice cream. It's a delicacy that Alaskan natives have enjoyed for thousands of years. It's derived from animal fats and oils mixed with berries and occasional ground fish, but for some reason it's just not that popular with the public. They're probably grossed out by the berries or something, I don't know, oh well. Instead, we'll get normal ice cream. But not just any normal ice cream. With 2 locations, this handcrafted small batch ice cream is created with flavors that are from local growers, gardens, and vendors and churned in Anchorage. Wild Scoops. Since launching in 2015, Wild Scoops has created hundreds of unique flavors, starring local ingredients and collaborations. With a weekly changing menu, you never know what you'll find. From a baked Alaskan cone to scoops with ingredients such as Guinness beer, Portuguese fried dough, sweet potato, or even garlic. Make sure to check out their Facebook or Instagram to see the flavors of the week. Moving to the last section of the video, we have the Anchorage nightlife. Open from 10 a.m. till 2 a.m. every day, this is one of the most diminutive bars you'll find in the city, Darwin's Theory. This tight-squeezed tavern has a warm vibe and offers beer, wine, and cocktails. They don't offer any food other than salty, complimentary popcorn, but right next door is a pizzeria should you get hungry. Grab a quick beer or stay and enjoy the jukebox tunes. I would say to check out their website for more information, but it looks like it hasn't been updated since 2001. Our next spot is a Black-owned, multi-level, multifaceted destination gathering spot and intimate venue for locals and tourists alike, Williwaw Social. Starting on the first floor, the Social mixes both local musicians and artists and weekly events in their social and dining hall areas. The second floor has 2 spaces, an arcade area filled with pinball and skee-ball, and a speakeasy featuring high-end cocktails. The roof is open during the summertime when the weather is considerate and features a bar, grill, and live entertainment. Williwaw Social is closed on Sundays and Mondays, and the speakeasy and arcade are only open Thursday through Saturday, so make sure you plan accordingly. If you're looking for a joint to dance until 3 a.m., I have the place for you. This lively gay club has DJs spinning dance music and host shows throughout the week. Mad Myrna's. As one of the only 2 supposed gay bars in the city, Mad Myrna's may not look all that exciting from the outside, but once you stagger in, you're transported to a beautifully lit and decorated space. In addition, with a dance floor, over-the-top drag shows, as well as a variety of comedy shows, this club also has a full-service bar and restaurant serving late into the night. From fresh appetizers to pizza, there's a little bit of everything. And with drinks like the Pelvic Thrust and the Power Bottom, you know you're in for a good time. Last time we checked, there's typically a $5 entrance fee, and you probably want to check about making reservations for show nights. Moving on to a warehouse distillery that offers gin, 3 types of whiskey, 4 different flavors of vodka, and currently a limited cinnamon moonshine. We got Anchorage Distillery. Open on the afternoons Wednesday through Saturday, this distillery focuses on showcasing the uniqueness of Alaska's agriculture by distilling their liquor from barley and rye grown in Alaska and finishing them with fresh water that flows through a glacier. You can sample these spirits straight or try a craft cocktail at the tasting room. Their newest adventure is canned, ready to drink, vodka lemonades available in 3 flavors. And on the first Friday of every month, they feature a local artist along with a special abbreviated menu and limited edition cocktails. Make sure to visit their Facebook or Instagram for event details and cocktail features. Just 3 miles away is the last spot on our list. This brewery is the oldest brewery in Anchorage and second oldest statewide, Midnight Sun Brewing. Producing over 40 different ales and lagers a year, Midnight Sun Brewing Company is world-renowned for their barrel-aged stouts and barley wines, as well as IPAs and Belgian ales. Their flagship IPA, Sockeye Red, named after the salmon that fill the Alaskan waters all summer, is a multi-Pacific Coast-style IPA. I'd also recommend that you try their Belgian Triple, Panty Peeler. The orange peel and coriander create an appealing yet bolder triple by infusing color, citrus, and spice. And just like every other damn establishment in Alaska, they really pride themselves on their taste due to the water they use from glaciers.
That's high quality H2O.
Located on the second floor of their main building, they have The Loft, which offers 16 beers and 2 sodas on tap, all house-made. During the week, they serve salads, sandwiches, and shareable plates, and on the weekend, they have a limited brunch menu. Don't forget to stop by their full-fledged merch shop to pick up a souvenir on your way out. So, there you have it. Anchorage may not get talked about much as a top tourist destination, but it's such a unique place to visit at least once in your life, especially if you're a nature and active vacationer like I am. I make surveys here on YouTube to let you the people pick the next city, so subscribe and keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video. And while you're at it, comment down below which city I should do next.